Good afternoon, Washington. Welcome to Dave TV for the 21st of August. 21st August. So how you doing, everybody? Just looking at the latest batch of Washington market radio ratings. And what am I seeing? Not a hell of a lot. Looking at the Money Demo 2554 numbers. And I think what's more interesting is looking down at the bottom of the numbers here. WNEW-FM, the new CBS All Newser on 99.1, started 8 months ago. They launched it back in January. 8 months, just about exactly 8 months ago. And it's 26th place in the Money Demo numbers. And it's 27th place in the overall 6+ numbers for the second week of August. Okay? So that's just about exactly 8 months. And what we've learned from that is the station has seen absolutely no traction whatsoever at all in the ratings. Nothing. Not even during the big derecho. Now, granted, not even during the political seasons with the conventions heating up. They have seen no ratings bump at all. They have seen nothing. Now, I listen to WNEW on the car radio all the time, and I like it. I think it's a solid radio station. It sounds good. I like it. There were some technical mumbo-jumbo goof-ups when they first started there back in January and into February, but the station is running well. It sounds good. They do the traffic and the weather at a slightly different time than WTOP does. I like it. I think the anchors sound good. It's for what it is. It's fine. It's a decent sounding all news station. So what is the problem with getting the ratings? What is sitting in the way? What's the great mystery here? At least why isn't it taking some of WTOP's dominance away? Look at WTOP. They're still where they were before WNEW started. They're number 1 in the 6+ numbers, and they're number 3 in the 2554 numbers. You could say that maybe WNEW has siphoned a teeny tiny little bit of WTOP's rating, listener audience away. Maybe a tiny little bit. Maybe they would have been 2 in the Money Demo numbers this week instead of. I'm getting dark there. Can you see me? Can you see me now? I don't know. What do you know? I think it just comes down to signal. CBS in Washington has only 2 really killer FM signals, 94.7 and 95.5. Okay? And they're not going to move 95.5, they're not going to move PGC off of 95.5, and Fresh, I guess, just generates too much ad revenue to risk moving it off of 94.7. So 99.9, 99.1, and 106.7 for JFK. JFK would be getting higher numbers if it were on a better signal. I think that's generally obvious. It does better than TEM does because TEM, is on an AMer primarily inside the Beltway. But, it suffers because it's, 106.7 doesn't get into the northeast suburbs very well, and 99.1 doesn't get into Northern Virginia that great. You can hear it. On a decent car radio, it comes in fine, but on a lot of cheapo clock radios in people's bedrooms, it isn't so great. So there. What are you going to do? What's CBS going to do? I still think they really need to start. They really are going to keep WNEW going and pouring the money into it. And it's a costly station because they do have a fairly large air staff. It's not like putting a music station on where you're voice tracking overnights and you've got, a dipshit doing the mornings. But anyhow, they're putting a lot of money into this station. And they really need to seriously look about getting a better signal. I don't know. Acquisition, as I said, they need to do some kind of a deal somewhere to maybe get 92.5 out of Winchester and pair that up with 99.1 or do something. They need to get another signal. buy 103.1 out of Frederick and pair that up with 99.1 or do something. I don't know what it is. They need to get creative, but they need some signal for that western part of the metro that they can put WNEW on. If they're not going to move it to 95.5 or 94.7 or do something, maybe put it on 106.7 and move JFK somewhere else, but they don't have enough signals to do that. So I don't know what CBS does with that. They can just keep limping along as they are. Maybe it's making some money. Maybe it's making enough money to pay off all the bills. I don't know. But it's certainly not going to be a threat to WTOP anytime soon. They need to get a better website. That website still sucks 8 months after launch. Even after hiring the guy from WTOP, their top web guy, the website still sucks. They need to do more promotion and advertising and let people know about their air stuff. They're not doing any of that. Much more Twitter and Facebook and that kind of thing. And they need to get a better signal. So there. What are you going to say? So what else is going on? What else do I want to rant about today? David Zurwick up there at the Baltimore Sun. Can't stand that guy. He really is an irritating little twerp. Writes today that he was writing about Al Jazeera because Al Jazeera is running some kind of documentary on Baltimore that's apparently very unflattering of Baltimore. And he's talking about how Al Jazeera is not carried by enough cable systems. Apparently, it's only carried by 3 cable systems in the Washington area. That's a quote from David Zurwick. Well, Al Jazeera is carried by 3 cable companies in the Washington area: Comcast, Verizon Fios, and RCN. Actually, you could say they're also carried by Cox, so they're actually carried by 4, right? So, and that's because they have channel 30, WNBC, which runs 10 different sub-channels, 10 different channels on their signal, and one of them is a 24/7 feed of Al Jazeera. So these cable companies are required by law, by the must-carry rules, to carry all the local TV signals, so they all carry it. So all the cable systems in the Washington area, whether they're Verizon or Cox or Comcast or RCN, carry Al Jazeera because it's carried by Channel 30. Okay? And that's more than 3 cable systems. That's cable systems in Montgomery, PG, all over the metro area. Probably a couple dozen cable systems all told. 3 or 4 companies, yes. But Zurwick kind of got it wrong there. So what do you know? What do you know, Joe? Ay. All right, folks. But anyhow, that's my rant for today. I'm not seeing any huge trends in the radio ratings. Although I'm seeing an interesting trend in Baltimore. WWIN-AM jumps up into the top 20. They are like usually 43. That's 1400 AM with a gospel format. They're competing with Clear Channel's WCAO down there on 600. Just interesting to see how they sudden jump up for them. That's weird to see a jump like that. And I'm also noticing a little bit of a spin upward for WTNT. That alternative righty talker here in Washington on 730 and 102.9. I think that putting Fred Grandy on with Andy Parks at least one day got them a lot of talk about in the righty talk market, and I do think that would be a good idea to reunite Fred and Andy. I had a lot of problems with Fred Grandy and Andy Parks on WMAL, but I'll tell you something: they're a hell of a lot better than that Brian Wilson, man. I just get mad when I listen to Brian Wilson. He's such a dingbat. Ay. So there. Okay, folks. Thanks for watching Dave TV for today. I won't keep you any longer. We're hitting the 9-minute mark. Don't forget, we're reaching our 15th anniversary here at DCR TV. 15 big years. It's 1997. We started in September 97, so next month, 15 big years. Please. Ad revenue is great, but we really, really do depend on your donations. So please send us a couple of bucks. Click on that support link there at the top of DCR TV's front page and send us a few bucks, please. And we will be so thankful for you. Make it 29 bucks and get a year's worth of access to DCR TV Plus, where we've just added 3 more photo galleries for a total of 99 photo galleries, chock full of these wonderful images of Washington, Baltimore area radio and television over the years. So there. All right, thanks for watching, and live long and prosper.